It is finally here, my friends. As inflation continues to soar, the Biden administration is working towards passing new relief bills that will provide necessary assistance to Americans, especially those who are experiencing financial hardships. This may come in the form of a one-time stimulus payment or smaller monthly recurring check. Friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video, because I will be sharing with you new details that have been released on stimulus. To say thank you for joining me here every day, I'm giving away 4 $75 Walmart gift cards every week. Please enter the giveaways by clicking and liking several of my videos and then commenting below the keyword of each video that you watch. Also, my friends, during the months of October, November, and December, I will be surprising friends with $200 gift cards to those of you that have been in this community for several months as a simple gesture to say thank you so much. According to a new analysis, the average American family has experienced a loss of roughly $6,000 in annual wages. The analysis conducted by economists showed that the average American worker has seen annual wages decrease by $3,000, meaning that families have seen a loss of $6,000 in their annual wages. And that's due to high inflation. One economist said that the losses have had major impacts on American families' earnings and the quality of life as families struggle to pay for everyday items such as groceries, gas, and energy bills. In September, the Consumer Price Index, a common tool for measuring inflation, ticked up 0.4% month over month and 8.2% year over year. According to a U.S. Department of Labor report that was published, the figure came in hotter than economists had projected ahead of the report. Core prices, which exclude volatile energy and food prices, increased by 6.6% on an annual basis. That is the largest jump in 40 years. About 157 million Americans, roughly 61% of the nation's population, are living paycheck to paycheck because of high inflation. The number is up from 55% recorded in June 2021. Researchers have also stated people are just absolutely being crushed. It's necessities. It's things like eggs, milk, flour, soup. These are things that are up 20 or 30% year over year. All of those additional costs are now creeping into the rest of the economy. While wages have increased by 5.1% over the last year, they have not kept up with the rising consumer prices. President Biden said in a statement Thursday that the United States has made progress in curbing inflation as a result of his economic plan. Since March of this year, the Federal Reserve has been aggressively raising interest rates to try to cool the price spikes, and so far, there is very little sign of progress. Millions of Americans still qualify for stimulus checks, but time is running out to claim them. So friends, if you missed the annual tax filing deadline in April, you have until October 17, 2022 to file. All qualifying taxpayers can file for free with the IRS's tool. If you have little to no income, you are usually not required to file a tax return. However, to qualify for a stimulus payment, you must file a simplified tax return. On October 11th, the U.S. Government Accountability Office reminded Americans that they may still be eligible for missing stimulus payments. An estimated 10 million Americans are eligible, but have yet to file their taxes to receive this relief. From April 2020 to December 2021, the federal government doled out $931 billion in crisis stimulus money. The child tax credit was also expanded during the crisis, granting monthly payments of up to $300 per child to all qualifying families. Our federal government said in a report, part of the challenge for the IRS and Treasury in 2020 was they only had data on taxpayers that had previously filed taxes. Friends, the keyword for this video is sycamore tree. If you would like to enter the next Walmart gift card giveaway, please click and like several of my videos and then comment below this keyword, which is sycamore tree, and additional keywords of any video of mine that you watch. And do make sure, friends, that you are subscribed to my channel. The U.S. Treasury and IRS reached out to about 9 million individuals who had not filed taxes to let them know that they qualified for the stimulus payments and the child tax credit. However, the Government Accountability Office does not indicate how successful that outreach was. A June report urged that the IRS and the Treasury do more to reach people who had not received the payments. Last Friday, millions of Californians began receiving tax refunds worth up to $1,050 as part of the state's effort to curb the damage that was done by the sky-high rate of inflation recorded throughout this year. The program, known as the Middle Class Tax Refund, is offering a one-off payment for about 23 million tax-paying California residents. A statement from the office of California Governor Gavin Newsom confirmed that the direct payments are designed to help address rising costs. The recipients will receive between $200 and $1,050 from the relief payments, which, for most recipients, will land directly into their bank accounts as a tax refund. So friends, if you reside in the state of California and you have not received your check from the California Franchise Tax Board, please make sure that they have your banking details on record, or you may request to receive a preloaded debit card in the mail. Well, my great and dear friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for this evening. Thank you so very, very much for watching all of the videos I post. And I greatly and truly appreciate all of you. Remember, friends, I'll be announcing a winner for the $75 Walmart gift card, and I'll surprising another individual with a $200 Walmart gift card. Please make sure you enter as many keywords of any video of mine that you watch. And do make sure, friends, that you do stay tuned for the videos. Thank you and have a wonderful and blessed Friday.
To put on his aviators and drive right out of the exhibition center. Took a lot to get him out of that car. He was so into it. He was inspired, and we all were. Of course, the auto show is always inspiring, but this year was even more, and that's because our nation is in the middle of a manufacturing renaissance. And I don't say that lightly. We are in the middle of a manufacturing renaissance. Democrats in Congress, along with President Biden and Vice President Harris, are helping to revitalize American manufacturing. With tiny House and Senate majorities and the car guy in the White House, Democrats have done more to advance manufacturing in America than at any point in the last 70 years. We're not just bringing back the jobs lost during the pandemic, we're going far beyond that. Already nearly 700,000 new manufacturing jobs have been created under the Biden administration. This represents the strongest manufacturing job growth since 1950s in our lifetime. In 2021 alone, more manufacturing jobs were created, just last year, more manufacturing jobs were created than any single year, any one year in nearly 30 years, which is extraordinary and it's exciting. And over the past year, the construction of new manufacturing facilities in the United States has grown by over 100%, 116%. Meanwhile, 80% of our CEOs in a recent survey were either in the process of moving manufacturing operations from China or were seriously considering doing so. So we are seeing a real shift about bringing jobs home. And we've been providing the incentives and the support to do that. So that's really great news, because we know if you're going to have an economy, somebody has to make something. Somebody has to make something. And frankly, that's what we do in Michigan. We make things, we innovate, and then we make things even better. And then we do it over and over again. Of course, we can't make much of anything if we don't have these semiconducting chips, these little microchips the size of a nail. Who ever thought that not having microchips would shut down a whole plant? And that's what has happened in Michigan, unfortunately, during the height of the supply chain breakdowns. A lack of chips means that auto manufacturers have to idle plants. Assembly lines shut down, workers get sent home. Parking lots at plants fill up with cars that can't be sold because of these missing chips, and I see many of them not very far from my home in Lansing, Michigan. Car lots that normally are full of different makes and models sit empty, and the price of new and used cars goes up and up without these chips. All because of a tiny piece of technology, no bigger than a thumbnail. That's why the legislation that we passed, the CHIPS and Science Act, this legislation that was signed into law is really a big deal. This law is bringing semiconductor manufacturing back to the United States where it belongs. Instead of the majority of what we need being overseas, it is now going to be coming home and creating millions of jobs in the process. And that's, frankly, great news, because currently, US manufacturers only have 12% of the world's semiconductor manufacturing. 12% actually was down from 37% in the 90s. And now we're going to reverse that and bring those jobs home. And we're already seeing it make a difference. Intel is building new semiconductor fabricator plants in Ohio and Arizona.